right, guys, good morning. Thank you for joining me. We are here today with Bethanie Fincato for our 10th episode. So you are breaking the double digits for me here. So 10th episode, Bethanie Fincato, here we go. Thank you guys for joining us. Bethanie, thank you for joining me.
Thanking for having me.
We were just talking about how we were both trying to stay like 25 years old, but it's just not happening. But you got a nice glow going right now. You got a nice tan. You did some college tours. You just told me.
College tours,
got a lot of good things going on.
Yeah.
But all right, let's jump into real estate stuff. So, how long have you been an agent for at this point?
June 12th will be 20 years.
Wow. Okay. June 12th, 20 years. All right.
So time moves.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So we are in Bethanie's domain because we're in the basement here of Perry Hall, and her office is actually just right here on the other side of maybe two walls in this location.
Yes.
So she says that I need to mind myself because I'm in her world. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
and for those that have not seen the transformation of this level, it is just fantastic, and I'm so happy down here. So come visit.
Yeah, it is nice. It's lovely, quiet, peaceful.
Yes.
So 20 years. Now,
Yes.
you came to me from Long and Foster.
Yes.
And I will say that you were probably the highest percentage split person that ever joined me. When you told me I'm going to join you, and I was like, well, do you mind me asking what Long and Foster's is paying you? And Long and Foster's a great company, and I don't want to upset anybody that may have not had a good of a split, but you were, I won't say it, but it was into the 90s, right?
Yes.
So I really appreciate the fact that you were like, I'm into the 90s, but I want to come and join your brokerage because I like you and I like the people that are here. I feel it's more of a lot of the people that were here. You're
Definitely.
This is the experienced agents and the people that I can kind of network with, I can relate to, and we can get more transactions done and do better and kind of push each other. So 100%. I really appreciate it when you joined, because I was like, I'm not even sure if it's a total, with my monthly dues and office space and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't, there wasn't
break
any
even
gain
at best.
At best.
Yeah,
right.
so I really appreciate that. So were you with Long and Foster anywhere before Long and Foster?
No, not really. Yes. I was at Long and Foster for
from the start. So you've been here for how many years here? Of these 20?
August of 2019.
19,
so
okay.
Six
years. So the other 14 at Long and Foster.
Yeah, and
approximately so you work with yourself, your sister, and Stephanie.
Yes.
So your sister's Teresa Bumpy.
Yes.
And then Stephanie is your other team member. So it's 3, so you have a little girl group.
Yep.
That you're very tight, do a lot of things together. So just for your personal sales, approximately how much are you selling every year in units wise?
I mean, I usually do 15. I prefer to do 20.
Yeah.
Between,
so you're between
15 and 20.
Yeah. Your sister and Stephanie do their thing.
Yeah.
Combined together, you guys are over 30 million. I feel like probably right in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. I just kind of give people sort of a general range that you're very serious. You've built a very, very nice business for you guys.
Yes. I try really hard every day.
Yeah. So I guess, right, you do try really hard every day. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got started, what you've been doing? Obviously you've helped me a ton with some of the Brian Bethanie classes yourself.
Yes.
Gigi Causey in this office has as well. Other people have. So I know you've followed Bethany's system, but I guess just tell us, from the early days, or what you've done, what you did, what you're doing now, what motivates you to stay consistent and do as much business as you do.
In the early days, my sister was dating someone. We were out one night having drinks. I was working on my MBA. My husband was deployed to Iraq, what have you.
Yeah.
I was just sad and
You were working on your MBA?
Yes.
You had children at the time?
No
not
children.
At the time.
Okay. No children.
He's in
newlywed.
Iraq. What year is this?
This is back in, we've been married for July will be 21 years. So it was 21 years ago.
Wow.
And
he was in Iraq.
We got married in the courthouse, and he left a couple weeks later to go to Iraq.
Wow.
So he was gone for 14 months. I was working on my MBA. I was waiting tables, which I loved waiting tables. I miss waiting tables, really, but I absolutely loved it. So, and she was dating my sister that works with me. She was dating a guy back then, and very loosely, but we were out having drinks one night, and I'm like, well, what do you do? And he worked for new construction, Ryland Homes or something like that.
Sure.
And I thought, oh, wow. So I started asking a lot of questions. I've always liked all things home, decor, all of it,
Yeah.
And I woke up the next morning and I thought, maybe I don't really need to continue to work on my MBA, because I was in a bad headspace, a newlywed. I was by myself, all this stuff, whatever. So then I just really started exploring and digging in, and I'm like, yeah, this is for me.
Yeah.
Not working in new construction per
Sure.
se, but
Yeah.
this is for me. So
Got your license.
got my license, hit the ground running, have never looked back.
Yeah.
Never looked back.
Yeah.
I did not finish my MBA.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Sure.
I wouldn't say that to my kids, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And I have never looked back, and just really started, like from by myself,
Yeah.
from the ground up, not really knowing, how, if 1+1 equaled 2 at the time.
Yeah.
And, I made it through the first few years, and then, just started kind of like surrounding myself with like-minded agents. And then, once I realized that there was a pool of people out there to connect with, to grow with and everything, and I found Brian Bethanie.
Yeah.
And I know everyone, I mean, I love Brian Bethanie. I love the whole system. And once I started doing that, I was pregnant. I'm fast forwarding a little bit, but I had my daughter, and then I had my son 20 months later. And then my husband was deployed again.
Oh, geez.
And I was by myself with a 3-year-old or 1.5-year-old. And I needed to join a team because my business was growing. I was not going to stop growing my business. And I had these 2 children to love and raise and all of this stuff. And
so
I couldn't do it by myself. So
Diane.
I connected with Diana Hirschhorn.
Yep.
And
who's now retired, lived in Florida, right?
And she lives back in Maryland now, I think. But yeah, she is retired.
Okay.
And I learned so much, and I'm forever ever grateful and thankful to her, to the other girls that I worked with. She was a very big top producer and very serious. Yeah. And I'm also more of a serious person, whatever. And so like I just took from the whole Bethanie system.
Right. And just for those folks that haven't gotten familiar with Brian Bethanie, there's lots of different sort of real estate coaches and programs out there, but Bethanie's one that's more prevalent in this brokerage is a build your business by referral sort of system, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, fast forwarding a little bit further, I was on that team when I had my son. I just continued to grow, establish myself, what have you. And then years later, I found myself still on her team. It just worked for me. Mm-hmm. It worked for me. She worked for me. I worked for her, what have you.
Yeah.
And then
good fit.
It was a good fit. It just was for a long time. And then she decided to transition and move to Florida. So then I became team leader. I never expected to be a team leader, to have a team, anything like that. I didn't see anything like that. But when I was presented with it, I don't say no to challenges, right? Sure. So now, and then she continued to retire and what have you, and it continued to evolve. And now, it's the Finacato group, and it is the 3 of us, and we all very much follow everything, Brian Bethanie. I have a Brian Bethanie coach.
Yeah. How often do you connect with that
twice
coach?
A month.
Twice a month.
Yeah.
Via Zoom or phone calls?
Yeah, 2 phone calls a month.
And then you subscribe to the Bethanie's referral maker CRM.
100%.
Right. So you use their
and I'm in the CRM every day. Everything is tracked in the CRM. Mm-hmm. The further you dig into the CRM, the better you're
tracking like client showings, or more of just like all the touch point stuff?
All the touch point stuff.
You're not worried about like tracking their showings.
No,
Some people go like some of these CRMs, it's like, what did they do? What this client do today? What they do yesterday?
No.
So you're in the CRM every day in terms of basically figure out like marketing to your database.
Correct.
To hopefully get referrals.
Yes.
And that you're following that whole CRM and that whole system, which then turns into handwritten notes, pop-bys, client parties.
Yes,
those are
exactly.
sort of like, I feel like the 3 pillars.
Those are the 3 pillars,
of Bethanie. I don't know if I should call them pillars or not, but
no, I think they are. Calls, notes, and pop-bys, and then, there's so much more. We do 4 bulk mailers a year.
Yeah.
We do multiple client events a year, which I love. I love people, right?
Sure.
So
what have been some of your more successful client events? I feel like I've seen some orange crushes in the parking lot out here before.
Yes, you have.
We like orange crushes around Cummings and Company. You got the yellow. We got the Christmas party coming up. We may have a blue drink, yellow and blue drink. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. So but what are some of your successful?
When we moved here, we hosted a housewarming event for us.
Okay.
When we moved here, in the parking lot, and we had an ice cream truck and a photographer and a hot dog guy, gourmet hot dog guy, and everything. That was a great event. And we do the one event that we do consistently do every year is our is our pie party, which so
Okay.
many people do that.
Sure, sure.
It is my favorite
Okay.
event of the year. We have
Where do you host
Santa,
that?
we have a photographer. It
You have
has
Santa at the pie party too?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the pie party's like more of a Thanksgiving time thing. But Santa's jumping in early.
Right. We
get
always
get the ball
do it.
rolling.
Yep. We just refer to it. It's we call pies, picks, sips, and dips, and it just starts off the holiday season.
Yeah. And do you have that here at your house, or where do you host it?
No. We used to have it at my house, and then it got too big. And then as I've had different team members, people that don't work directly with me, it was a little uncomfortable having them come to my house.
Sure, sure.
So not that they're bad people or anything. So it varies. It varies in different locations in Perry Hall.
Restaurants and things like that. Gotcha. Yeah.
So it is my favorite event of the year.
Okay. What other type of events do you have going?
We do in front of DeSantis Pizza on Super Bowl Sunday. Every year we give out pizzas to clients.
Gotcha.
And that's just so great because people have rested from the holiday season.
Yeah.
We're set up out front. We're bundled up. It's for 2 hours. People pop in, they say hello.
Spring market.
It's right before spring market.
Yeah.
It is just
not that they may not be buying or selling, but like if they have somebody that says, "I'm thinking about buying or
everyone
selling."
knows that I and my team are never too busy for your referrals.
Yeah.
So, and that's really that is the main point of the pizza event.
Yeah.
It kicks off. It helps to kick off our spring market.
And you're very consistent in terms of like doing like an annual sort of like planning session. Like, what are we going to do? I feel like you guys are very systematic.
We're very systematic.
Your social media is always consistent throughout the entire year.
Yes.
Consistency. That was one thing Brendan Butler, when he did an interview, it's like, the thing of marketing is like consistency. So I feel like you're very consistent. Obviously, you're not like posting every 20 minutes.
No.
But you have like your sort of set schedule. You plan it all out. Yeah, I don't want to be fun and followed either. I feel you. So,
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, so you have like a end of the year sort of planning session
Fourth
that you
quarter.
kind of always do. And it's like, okay, and you make sure you have all your vendors lined up for the year and everything you're wanting to do. So you're starting to put in dates. You're coordinating with your sister and Stephanie, like, if we're going to do this, are you available this day? When are you going on vacation? All that stuff,
correct.
Right?
Yes, and anything that we put, like, this is an old school way of saying it, but pen to paper, right? Anything that we put on the schedule, on the calendar, does not matter what the market is like, what have you, we're doing it because...
Right, if we're all slow and we didn't sell a house this month, we're still going to do it.
We're still doing it, whether it be for, whatever. Like, we're doing it because... this is how we market ourselves and eventually get more business. So, so fourth quarter, we start in early November and we get together usually like twice in November and then one more time in December for a few hours. And of course listen, like there are times where like I'm up at 3 a.m. sending emails and stuff. And my sister's like, I'll talk to her at like 9 and she's like, couldn't sleep, huh? And I'm like, I am who I am.
Yeah.
So
you're constantly motivated. Yeah. Yes. I always say to people, I've said it a couple times in this video, it's like when you're up at 3 a.m., it's probably because you're stressed. You need to get something done. The best way to like get off your plate or relieve that stress is just to do what you need to do.
Just to do it. Yes.
Yeah. The procrastination just is crippling.
For sure.
In so many ways. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's anything new on the horizon coming up for this year that you like, that you're doing differently or leaning into more?
I mean, things are changing in my own personal life as my kids are getting older and college tours and like so like that's right at the tip of my tongue. Right. So I wouldn't say
putting some time towards that and like backing off of real estate a little bit.
No.
Okay, no.
I just feel like I'm just getting started. I mean 20 years and so then
you're kind of excited to be an empty nester, so you can just go hard and work hard.
Excited for everyone. Excited for my kids, but equally excited for myself and my husband.
Right, now you can start having more time for your business and yourself and then putting a little more of that money towards retirement and
100%.
Where you're sort of like, cresting that raise my babies sort of thing.
Yes.
Letting them go fly off and then you get a little bit of your life back. Yeah.
Yes.
I know we've talked about it and you're excited about it.
It's just delightful. It's delightful. It's delightful for all involved.
Yes. And they're Loyal and they're Dom, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Roll Don's roll and MVP.
Yep.
Yes. Go Pirates, which was they were back in the day, but now they're the Blazers.
Yes, they're the Blazers.
My sisters went there.
Yeah. So my daughter's in 11th grade and my son's in 10th grade. So
it's great time in life.
Well, it will be. Yes, it's very stressful. And listen, and I love them, right? Yeah. But I did not realize how stressful, like, especially 11th grade is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Proms. Do you have a
not
prom
this
photo
year.
that's coming out the other day?
Yeah, they don't have junior proms
Okay.
at
All right.
Loyola
Maybe
and
I'm starting to see
NDP.
more pictures.
Yeah,
Okay.
so next year we'll be in all that. But so I feel like I don't feel like things are changing drastically for me, the business, right?
Yeah.
Like this year, but I feel like, okay, so in another year and a half, things will really change.
Yeah.
I realize the value of video
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I am so anal that I cannot get out of my own way and just,
Yeah.
take a selfie style video. And
Sure,
if it
sure.
isn't
Well,
perfect,
we have
then I
Drew
won't
here
post
behind
it.
the camera that
Well,
that can help you out on
right.
that as
And
well.
Drew will definitely be hearing from me, because so like I have to get, why haven't I gotten out of my own way yet? Like, cause
Yeah.
I mean, I really do focus on all channels of marketing. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Sure.
mailers, the website. We make it a very big top priority to get reviews, and for
Yeah.
whatever reason, thank you Jesus, we get beautiful reviews from
Yes.
people, like
The
social
reviews are going on
media.
your website, on your social,
Yeah,
on
on
Google business page.
Google business
Yeah.
page, Zillow, all
So
of
really
it.
trying to hit every spoke in the wheel kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have not hit the video piece
Yeah,
yet.
just,
So
all right.
I'm just like, okay, you just have to get out of your own way and do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so that is probably something that will change sooner
right.
than later.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm really putting it out there. So
yeah, I'm pushing that for everybody in the brokerage. I'm really pushing, Troy, who manages our social media, make sure, everybody that's using video is getting highlighted on the website. If the agents are going to put money towards a video person, we want to make sure
Sure.
that we're
Yes.
pushing it out there. Obviously, I want to put, we try to highlight different agents, different areas, everything as much as possible on our social media. And you're always welcome to hit up Troy if you feel like you need some love on our company social media for yourself or your client or whatever. But yes, video is definitely where it's all headed. Everything you watch on social now, everybody's much more paying attention to video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I know. I'm sorry. You're like looking like stressful
another
just thinking
spoke,
about
another spoke in the
another
wheel.
spoke in the wheel.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's just really about, again, my personality and being like just really like, just wanting to come off as polished and put together and not make any mistakes, right? That's really just that's the, the group of people in my head talking.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
customer
fine.
service wise with all your clients, are you using key transaction management? You manage it all
Yes.
yourself?
Yes.
I mean, you're out, you have a team, but you're still showing,
Yes.
you're very involved with your set of clients, right?
Very involved with my clients.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I was the most excited about coming here.
Was key.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's worked out.
If you are not using Key, you're making a mistake for multiple reasons, right? Like
Such a backup to your.
It's a backup, and it makes me look more professional to my clients. I'm not up 4 nights a week at 3 a.m. sending emails because. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's what they're doing.
You can focus your time on the Popeyes, the handwritten notes during the day.
100%. It was money that has never been missed.
Yeah.
Because it's so much value there.
All right. Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm sure Liz loves hearing that.
Yeah,
too.
I love
the whole
Liz.
team. So
yes, for sure.
It's definitely been a fantastic relationship. Any other thoughts that you wanted to say while you were thinking about this that I haven't asked you? Any where you get inspiration from?
Well, I mean,
obviously Bethanie is a big influence for you.
Yes,
But
Bethanie is a big influence. I mean, I feel like, I think that there are people in our industry that, look at, like other realtors as our competitors, and they are, right? We are all,
Competing.
in competition with
Sure.
one another. But like I don't really look, I compete with myself every day.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's enough for me. I don't need to compete with all the agents in my office and whatever.
You got your own motivation and goals.
I have my own motivation, my own goals, my own focus, and I for whatever reason, it all ends up bigger and longer lists and trying to dig deeper every year. But so, I compete with myself, and I just try hard every day, like I truly mean it's the largest investment people make in life.
Yeah.
And they're trusting us to guide them through the process.
Yeah.
It's a
and you're
it's
a perfectionist. You want to make it perfect for them.
Yes, it's a huge process.
Yeah.
And I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And
every I dotted, every T crossed.
I mean,
Perfect.
not all the time, but that is the goal.
Yeah.
Right? To have every I dotted, every T crossed.
I agree. I think like the customer, all the marketing, everything you do, you know, can just be a total waste if you're not getting, like, if you do a great customer experience, you should receive referrals at some point down the road.
Yes.
I mean, obviously some people are moving out of state, you may never see them again or whatever, but like,
right.
if you really dig into amazing process and transaction and quality of service, then, you know, like that's the best way to build the foundation, and then from there you can go further with like, staying in touch with them and everything.
100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I mean, so many clients that I've been referred, you know, have turned to just being like good friends. You know, clients turn to friends turn to clients, you know, and if you do it the right way.
Right. They want to become friends. If things don't go so well, they may not want to be friends.
And right. And once again, I love people, so I want to be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
so.
Yeah. And any fun facts or anything like that you got going on? I mean, I was not aware that you husband was deployed to Iraq right after 3 weeks after getting married in the courthouse.
Yep. So we canceled our wedding twice and got married, you know, in the courthouse. And I don't know, people probably thought, was this really going to work out? And here we are. It worked out.
2 kids later, happily married.
Yeah.
He's already retired from the military service, right?
He's retired from the military. He works
consulting.
He works for he works, you know, he has a government job.
Oh, I know what your fun fact is. You guys have that dual bike thing that you have at the beach. What do you have? Yeah, they have like the tandem bike. They ride around the boardwalk like the biggest nerds probably. I love it.
Biggest nerds. People
That's so
smile
cute.
at us all the time.
I'm smiling just thinking about you guys.
It is my favorite gift that he has ever given me.
He gave it to you?
Yes, he gave it to me for our anniversary a few years ago. And he has given me very nice gifts over the years.
Yeah.
And it is my absolute favorite gift. And I get so much joy out of riding this bicycle.
With him.
Yeah.
And you guys take it on the boardwalk?
Oh, yeah. We go on the boardwalk. We go up to Delaware.
Yeah.
We turn into like, you know, like how many miles are we getting in on this thing? I mean, you know, everything's very competitive. And
all right. If you guys have any questions for Bethany, please feel free to reach out to her.
Please do.
If you need to find out where you get a tandem bike, you know, talk to her husband. And thank you very much for doing this, Maureen.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Catch you next time. Thank you.